Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you all are good. Welcome back to your online classes. As you know that we have to follow the precautionary measures that had been explained by the government of Pakistan, and that is why your school are not going to be opened till 15th of September. And till that date, or maybe according to the orders of government, we have to continue the classes online. Today, we are going to do the most important part of speech, or you may say the part of grammar or English language that every student must know and try to learn. That is active and passive voice. Active and passive voice is the basic thing which you are going to learn to know how to write by yourself and how to create the sentences, how to mold the situations in your own words. If you are able to write down the sentences in active and passive, you are up to half of your learning of language, and you are able to produce and reproduce those sentences in your own words. Yes, my dear students, you can look at your screen the rules to change the sentences from active to passive form. What is active sentence? A thing said by something, a thing done by something, a work completed by somebody. The rules to change the sentences from active and passive form. The first one is the places of subject and object are interchanged. The places of subject and object are interchanged. The object shifts to the place of subject and subject shifts to the place of object in passive voice. As you can see in this sentence, I write a letter. I write a letter. This is the sentence. Here, what is done in the next sentence? A letter is written by me. What has been done? I is your subject, a letter is your object. So your object is brought in the first and I is settled on the place of object. This I is your subject, a letter is your object. So your object is put at the place of subject in passive voice, and subject is put on the place of object. SOOS, SI, subject, the doer, the person who is performing something, object, the thing on which the work is done. So your object is taken on the place of subject and your subject is taken on the place of object. So I write a letter becomes a letter is written by me. I write a letter becomes a letter is written by me. Now I have written the detail for you. Subject 1 of sentence shifted to the place of the object letter and object letter shifted to the place of the subject I in passive voice. Look at the sentence again. Subject I of sentence shifted to the place of the object letter and the object letter shifted to the place of subject in passive voice. Rule number 2. Sometimes subject of the sentence is not used in passive voice. The subject of a sentence can be omitted in passive voice if without subject it can give enough meaning in passive voice. Cloth is sold in yards. Here you can see the cloth is sold in yards. He sells cloth in yards. The sentence might be he sells clothes in yards. Number 3. Third form of verb past participle is always used as main verb in sentences of passive voice for all tenses. Base form of verb or present participle will be never used in passive voice. The word by is used before subject in sentence in passive voice. Which word is used? By. Active, he sings a song. And passive is a song is sung by him. The first or the foremost rule is that you always put third form of verb as your action word. Look at here. I'll write a letter is written by me. You always use third form of verb. But you use third form of verb. Now look at this sentence. He sings a song. He sings a song. Sing is changed into past participle, means third form of verb. Past participle, third form of verb. And your is your is based on this s which you have got in sings. He sings. It means that sentence belong to present tense, and that is why we are using is as helping verb. So this was your third rule. The first one was that the place of subject and object are interchanged. The second rule is that sometimes there is no use of subject if the passive is giving enough meaning. And the third rule is that the third form of verb is placed always third form of verb. Which form of verb? Third form of verb. If you find any sentence of present or future or past having the auxiliaries in the same tense but having third form, you should understand that this sentence belongs to passive voice. Now we will move forward to fourth rule. The fourth rule is the word by is not always used before the subject in a passive voice. Sometimes word with to etc. may also be used before the subject in passive voice. Examples क्या हैं? The water fills the tub. The tub is filled with water, not by water. The tub is filled with water. It is not always used. Sometimes we do not use by. He knows me. I am known to him. He knows me. वो मुझे जानता है. I am known to him. मैं उससे जाना जाता हूँ. The last and the most important rule is auxiliary verbs are used according to the tense of the sentence. Auxiliary means helping verbs. Auxiliary mean helping verbs. So helping verbs are used according to the tense of the passive voice. Helping verbs are used or auxiliaries are used according to the tense. HV, helping verbs. So there are total 5 rules which you need to learn and follow. The first one I am going to repeat is the subject takes the place of object. Second is that sometimes subject of the sentence is not used in passive voice. Third is that there is always third form of verb as used as main verb. The fourth is the word by is not always used. And the fifth is, and the most important is, auxiliary verbs are used in passive voice. My dear students, there are some changes of pronoun which we make. You might be thinking in your first, I write a letter. Why we have written a letter is written by me. Why we have done it so? It is because when we are changing active voice into passive voice, we need to change the pronouns. The following are the changes occurred in the pronouns while converting a sentence from active to passive voice. I changes into me. I changes into me. We into us. You into you. He into him. She into her. It remains the same, and they into them. So these are the pronouns. These are the pronouns which are changed into their next position. I into me, we into us, you into you, he into him, she into her, and it into it, and they into them. Today we will be focusing on all the present tense. Passive voice in simple present tense, as you know it with the name of present indefinite tense, and you had been working through this tense since your primary level. Passive voice in simple present tense, how they are changed. The formula has been written for you. Formula is subject plus infinitive plus object. और पैसिव का फॉर्मूला क्या है? फॉर्मूला सब्जेक्ट टू बी पास्ट पार्टिसिपल प्लस बाय ऑब्जेक्ट. Just look at it. Simpson carries the line. Simpson carries a line. The line is carried by Simpson. Simpson is subject. Line. The line is object. Now you can see the line. Object has been placed first. Simpson, the subject has been placed at third. Care is changed by cared. Verb, third form. Look at it again. Simpson cares the line. The line is cared by Simpson. And Anna does the homework. The homework is done by Anna. It is present indefinite tense. What the tense is present indefinite tense. So according to the tense, we are using auxiliary or helping verb. We are not putting over here was or were or did or will. Why not we are putting these helping verbs? Because we know it well that cares is related to present indefinite tense, and that is why we will be placing the same auxiliary which belongs to the tense. Anna does the homework. The homework is done by Anna. They sell that house. That house is sold by them. Here I had made a mistake. It is not sell. It is sold. It is sold. They sell that house. The house is sold by them. Jessica always plays the piano. The piano is always played by Jessica. She buys a book. She buys a book. A book is bought by her. That house is sold by them. S-O-L-D, sold. They sell that house. That house is sold by them. You can save these sentences and make the sentences on your own to practice. The next portion that is related with present continuous tense. Present continuous tense. And its active voice formula is subject to means any verb, present participle, and object. And when we are changing passive into passive, subject to be plus being plus past participle plus by object. Here you can see she is doing her work. Your ing is changed into being. Your ing is changed into being. She is doing her homework. The homework is being done by her. Your main course, your main verb will always change into past participle, means verb third form. He is waiting for Dewey. Dewey is being waited by him. They are giving the present. The present is being given by them. Bobby is drawing a nice scenery. A nice scenery is being drawn by Bobby. Ratna is writing the letter. The letter is being written by Ratna. In your previous tense, what you have read? You have read that she sells a car or she sells that house. That house is sold by her. And here we have got auxiliary plus the verb with ing. So this verb is going to be changed into third form, and this ing is changed into being, being. So with this we have done our present continuous tense. It's a kind of revision. You had been doing it since your class 7th. Now I don't think so that it would be very tough for you. It's a kind of revision, a kind of reminder for you how to tackle the sentences. So today we are going to complete, inshallah, the present tense, the last tense of present. Before starting present perfect tense, my dear students, let me know you that there are 4 sentences which are not being changed into passive because they are already passive sentence. Yes, here is the list of those tenses which are not changed into passive voice, which are not changed into passive voice. Tenses which cannot be changed into passive voice: present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous, and future continuous tense. They are already converted, or they are already a form of passive voice tense, so that is why we don't change them into passive, or it is not possible to change these 4 tenses. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. These 4 tenses cannot be changed into passive sentence. The last tense of today's lesson is present perfect tense. Very simple, very easier. You don't need to learn any kind of verb for doing present perfect continuous tense, as there is already third form of verb. Here you can see subject plus has, have as auxiliaries. Have, has ये आपका helping verb है. Past participle means third form is your third already there. What you need to add? You need to add only been. Carrie has paid the bill. The bill has been paid by Carrie. We have cycled 5 miles. 5 miles have been cycled by us. They have not read the book. The book has not been read by them. You can see we have added only been, and the sentence remain the same almost. Only we are changes the places of subject and object and adding by into it. We have not agreed to this issue. This issue has not been agreed to by us. Has he phoned him? Has he been phoned by her? So this is the end of your lesson of today's practice. We have done present perfect tense, present continuous tense, simple present, it means present indefinite tense, changes of pronoun, and the 5 rules of this change the sentences from active to passive form. So with this I shall end your lecture of today, and I ask you to just practice all these sentences by getting any book or taking any sentences of present continuous, present indefinite or present simple, and present perfect tense. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Hope to see you soon.